You remember when I made the last tariff video and I said, it's really not going to affect your business? Well, we got some updates. How you guys doing? My name is Stan Banks from T-Shirt Side Hustle, and I help people start t-shirt business from home, wherever you at. And we're going to get to it right after the intro. Okay, let's jump right into it. But before we do, you guys know what you do for me. I need you to like this video, comment, subscribe, do all of that good stuff, because I make videos like this all the time. And yes, I mean all the time. All right, so we may have a few more updates on this, but I just got another email from Samar, and I have seen some other emails from brands like Original Favorites and AS Color, who basically came out with stances on tariffs, okay? And I said in the last video that I didn't think that it was going to affect us much, and I still don't. And I think what I'm going to talk about here today is kind of proof of what I was saying in that video, where a lot of people are being super hysterical over like the 140% and then the 10% here and 54, all of these different numbers that are getting thrown out. I think we're in a state of consumer shock, not so much how it really is affecting our business. And I only want to talk about how it affects our business. I also in this video want to give you guys some marketing tips that I seen from Nissan. So I'll share that towards the end of the video. So let's jump into this. So we got a letter from Germany again from Samar. It says, partners and friends, thank you for being patient through the challenges over the last few weeks. Our team has worked to minimize the impacts of tariffs on pricing by negotiating with our suppliers, importing containers before tariffs went into effect, and managing internal costs. With that in mind, here's what's changing. I'll explain our decision-making process below. All right, starting June 1st, which is about, 8 days away. I don't know when this video is gonna actually hit the internet, but pricing on all private label and retail products will increase by 3.5%. We'll follow up next week with the price list. So the price list hasn't came out, but let's take consumer goods, the goods that let me actually pop into the internet, to the website. So I'm gonna jump in the computer and just pull up some actual pricing. So let's go DT6000, which is the next level equivalent of their house brand. And we're gonna pull up the price. So this shirt is $2.79. So if I go to my calculator, I put in 2.79, and we're gonna multiply that by 1.035 equals, so that $2.79 is now $2.89. That is a 3.5% price increase. Does that really affect our bottom line? I think that we are dealing on a wholesale level, and when you're dealing on a wholesale level, what happens is we in our minds here are like 100% tariff, and we are automatically thinking the price is going to double on us, when in actuality, it's not going to double on us, right? And as I said, most of what we're getting is not even coming out of China at this point much at all, except for like purely custom-made goods or mainly the polyester stuff, right? So now, if you are a clothing brand or something like that out there, or you have retail pieces that you're bringing in from them places, you will be affected. Like my patches come from over there. Those will be affected in a theory, but you're getting affected not on like the selling price, you know what I mean? You're getting affected on the lower end of how much it actually costs to produce. The cost of goods is gonna go up based on what you're shipping, all right? So let's go on to the next one. Prices on volunteer knitwear will not increase. This brand is made in Tennessee, is not subject to any tariffs. So what we're seeing there is things that are made in the US, obviously, they aren't gonna have any tariffs affecting them. It's funny because the crab prices, I love Maryland crabs, blue crabs. The prices are so high right now. They're actually starting to come down. But I was just joking, actually with my girl and with my grandmama as well. And I was like, listen, the price is high, but they can't tariff them. They right here in the US, right? And it's just a funny thing. But what you see from premium brands, not even if they're only made in America, what you're seeing from like AS Color, Original Favorites, and what you can do in your business, if you're priced at a premium, you can afford to eat the cost on some goods. Now, let's say you're doing some corporate wear and something that you got has now jumped 3.5%. So let's say you're using like I don't know, let's say you're doing a sweatsuit or something like that, and it's a $45 cost, and you're doing 1.035%, it's going up from $45 to $46, whatever the case is. So it's not going to affect what you're doing that much. Now, you can add a quarter to your costs, and if your customer complains, you're probably dealing with the wrong customer, right? Now, here's the last thing and the most important thing. I don't like this, but I respect it, okay? Customers paying by credit card will see a new 3% surcharge. This will offset the credit card transaction fee we currently pay and has been a long-standing practice among many industry suppliers. So this is what I don't like, okay? This one right here, Sanmar, you were better than the rest of them, but it's okay, right? So in total, what they're gonna do is they're gonna offset, they're finding a happy medium. The happy medium for them is, all right, we can make a small price increase and we can stop eating the cost. So in total, we're going up 6.5% in cost. So let's go back and do the math. We had a $2.79, right? Times, this time we're going to do 1.065, and it's going to end up being a $2.97 shirt. Okay, now it's a overall, I'm gonna just call it 20-cent increase, right? It's really like an 18-cent increase. Is 18 cents at the end of the day going to affect your business? Me personally, I think not. Now, let's see what else they got to say. While we don't have final details yet, we do expect to receive some price increases from industry brands including Gildan, Hanes, Jersey, Belly Canvas, Next Level, Stella Stanley, and A4. We will share more with you later. The next section says how we made these decisions, okay? Now, here's the important thing. As a business owner, you want to know the logic and thinking behind it so that you can put it into your business and your thought process. And I believe, before I go ahead and read it, is what we want to do is we want to find that happy medium. Hey, maybe on this side, hey, I can eat a little bit of this cost. I could pass a little bit off to the customer. Maybe even I could go to Sanmar and say, listen, does my account qualify me for some type of discount? All prices not created equal. So are you able to overall, like, hey, I know y'all increased the price by 20%, but does my buying power allow me to get it for 5 cents off of that? So if I can get 5 cents off of Sanmar, I can eat 5 cents and the customer, or I can eat, let's say 8 cents, and I can pass 5 cents on to the customer. And I'm just speaking in theory, but you can use larger numbers. Basically what happens is we all are sharing in the cost that went into this. You understand what I'm saying? So you want to find a happy medium. It says, we always try to keep price increase modest and manageable for you. To achieve this, we can adjust the product cost and manage operational expenses. So product costs, as we communicated last week, all foreign countries are now subject to 10% base tariff. We've negotiated with our factory partners to have them absorb some of the tariffs. We are optimizing our supply chain to ensure we are producing products in the lowest cost countries, and Sanmar is absorbing as much of the tariffs as we can. Finally, we have ceased production in China, and we are working to mitigate any costs associated with purchase orders we have already placed. Operational costs. We are taking a hard look at the costs across our organization. We are weeks away from going into our first automated distribution center, which will allow us to serve you with the higher accuracy and a lower cost. In addition, by adding a 3% surcharge on a credit card payment, Sanmar is able to offset the interchangeable fees we pay on credit card transactions. All right. We do not want this to cost you either. Our dedicated credit team is happy to help you apply for credit terms to avoid charges. Blah, blah, blah. Come and see if any more thing. All right, last part I'm going to read because the rest of it was just kind of like in general. But here we go. We know this isn't welcoming news for some of you. We didn't make this decision lightly. Ultimately, we felt the best solution to minimize the price increase from tariffs and offer you a way to avoid credit card costs. All right, so pretty much what you see is that it is a very, very minimal cost as an effect to your business. Now, if you're priced very low or you're competing to be the cheapest person to print in your area or in your niche or whatever the case is, then you're going to have to jump your prices let's say 25, 50 cents to keep it at margin. If you're priced at a premium, the way that I suggested, you price and position yourself as a service to your customer base, and you're not trying to be the cheapest, maybe right now you don't have to increase your price. But again, going up 25 cents on your cost, or depending on what the product is that you actually supply, you will not upset your customer. And if you do, you probably need to reconsider your entire pricing, because literally you don't want customers that are gonna haggle over 50 cents or 25 cents. And I get all situations vary, but we got costs. They understand that. You could pass that on to the customer in that case. Now, before I go, I wanted to give you guys this marketing tip. I was actually looking at cars, and I had Nissan ads popping up on my Instagram, and it said 2025 car, no new tariffs, right? Like the pricing is the same. So they're selling their old inventory for 2025, but they had already come in before the tariffs went into place. So they're kind of using this as a market. Hey, this car doesn't have tariff. So this is an opportunity for you to spin the story a little bit and say, hey, listen, the shirts I'm getting, we're not increasing our prices. The tariff is not affecting us, right? You can ride that story along until you see a significant price change in whatever it is that you're selling. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something, because again, I said it in the last video and I'm saying it now. I didn't think that it was going to affect us overall. You take the price of an iPhone, yes, the cost is this. It's going to go up a little bit, but that doesn't take a $1,200 phone and necessarily make it a $2,400 phone at the end of the day, right? So we got to do some basic understanding of what's going on and put it into our business. Hope you guys learned something. If you need help with your pricing, I got a link down below. And also make sure you're on the email list, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. This been your boy, Stan Banks. Peace.